you're interviewing us.
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Yes. Are you ready? Are you, everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Are we rolling?
Yeah.
We're rolling. Hey everybody, welcome to
Well, hello, Matt and Nate.
Hi.
You're probably wondering why I've called you here today.
Okay, well, which Avenger would everyone on the team be?
Oh. All right. So Caleb. Caleb is.
Caleb's Tony Stark.
Yeah.
You're Tony Stark.
Tony
because
Stark.
You have facial hair, and you die at the end of the last
Yeah, exactly. After this shit, this is the Avengers Endgame for me.
My name is Caleb Atkins. I'm a senior computer science major with a mathematics minor.
John would probably be Captain America then.
Yes, that's yeah.
You give Captain America vibes. Yeah. Yeah.
My name is John Clemmons. I am a junior English major. Ben could be Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
He's so mean,
He
though.
is mean, actually.
I hope I'm
No,
not that.
you're
I
not
was
mean.
I was choosing based
You're just
on
cool.
brilliance and
Yeah.
Wow, that's
career field.
Thanks.
I guess would that make? I think Ben would be Hawkeye because he's like his shots are just precise. Like he's always just so precise on the improv stage.
I'm Ben Scott. I'm a junior cell molecular biology major.
Okay.
I think I would be Thor. Maybe.
Yes, yeah, no, I agree.
Because like Thor's like kind of like the big smashing guy,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
that's like kind of what I do with improv is like I do like big characters.
And you're
Well,
positively
yeah.
smashing.
Yeah, I'm positively smashing.
I would like to be Peter Quill, for the record.
Wait. Yes. Hold on.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I changed my mind.
Nate
Nate can be Captain America. You're
Nate
Quill.
is Captain
yeah,
America.
Nate's Captain
He's Uncle
yeah.
Sam.
My name is Nate Barnard, and I am a sophomore math major.
Isabella, I feel like you're Thor.
Oh, heck yes. I'll be Thor.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'll be Thor.
She's Nick Fury, you know.
Nick Fury, yeah, she organizes everything.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
There you go.
And every time we think she dies, she comes back later.
I'm Isabella Gray. I am a senior communication studies major.
Cat.
You're
Cat
Black
is
Widow.
Thanos. Sorry.
No.
Oh, what?
Cat Pinkston would be the Incredible Hulk. She's an absolute rage monster.
All the time, we're all afraid of her.
Yeah, we
She's
are.
so much stronger than us.
Yeah.
I am Kat Pinkston. I am a junior communication studies major.
I can give Spider-Man energy.
Yeah?
I can give Spider-Man energy.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I can see Matt as a Peter Parker though.
My name is Matt Randall. I'm a sophomore, but you know, I'm a junior by hours.
Oh, right.
You know, that's But
I'm a senior by hours.
yes.
God,
But yeah, and I'm a film studies major, but with a minor in business administration. Because
a minor in business.
that's right. That's the important part. That's the part that's I'm inevitably gonna do when the major doesn't work out.
Here we are, as always, playing Slate Improv. We are really excited for you
So
guys.
shows, we do 3 or 4 shows a semester, and the captains will, usually the night before, will type up a list of games and decide who's playing what games so we know what's going on.
Generally, Isabella Gray makes a poster for us, and we will just advertise pretty much that way. Sometimes we'll have a table outside of the dining hall and selling tickets, but that's kind of rarely. We schedule with the venue. Usually we're in the theater, sometimes we're in the chapel, other times we're in Barefoots.
On show days, we arrive 3 hours early, 2 hours early, 2 hours early. Let's not be crazy. We get dinner together though. So we arrive 2 hours early, and well, to be honest with you, viewer, we just kind of hang out for a lot of it, and then we'll do some warm-ups. We'll usually do one long form. It's always terrible, and we just get out of our system, and we go back to our little dressing room, and we just chill. In the past, we tried to do things to drum up energy, but I think we found that the best thing to do is just hang out together. And before we go on, we'll go in a circle, and we'll all say nice things about each other to the person to your right of things they're good at in improv and in life, and showing appreciation for them. And we'll stand up, we'll pray, and we will go.
The structure of the show is generally we have a block of 2 games, a long form, which is like just a big scene without any specific rules attached to it. There are a few like ideas behind it, but it's really just us doing whatever we want. Then there's a block of 3 games, a long form, and a final 2 games after that. So there's a specific structure for each show that we follow.
After shows, we'll take our bow. We'll go out, we'll greet our loving fans. We'll get in Isabella's car and we'll go to cookout.
I've loved that, after shows, since I have, the biggest car, I'm, the designated, mom driver.
Yeah.
And Caleb's, the designated shotgun, all the time. And he made some comment about how he was like, what do you assume? I'm gonna, sit in the front?
Yeah.
Or somebody you always sit in the front. But then, everybody else will, pile in the back seat, squish in the back seat, or we'll have some people in the back seat and then some people in the trunk area, and we'll just roll up to Sonic or Cookout or somewhere, and everybody's piling out of the car to eat stuff. It's always so much fun.
Yeah.
We will all get different milkshakes. Nate's gonna get a cookout tray. Matt sometimes does. I always get Hush Puppies. Caleb's usually just one of the milkshakes. Ben rarely eats. And uses just random milkshakes for most of us. I always get strawberry. And I get a side order of Hush Puppies, if you really want to know. I'm proud of that.
All right. What is your favorite game?
I think Conspiracy Theory is my favorite game.
Yes. You're the best at it.
Yeah, I'm not like I was agreeing with that, but the reason I like it, I don't know, it feels like it's a game I could have made up for myself because I want to do it so much.
Yeah.
I really like Four Corners.
Yeah.
Because it really I don't know, I just love how you get to do a sequel to your own scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to think.
It's kind of like tiny long form, and then
Yeah.
you kind of get to do a scene, and it's just pure improv.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Freeze tag, honestly, freeze tag is great. We usually use that as an opener, but you can do it in a longer capacity.
Yeah, definitely.
I love freeze tag.
I asked for a playbook for the last show because that's another thing I really like. But I've never read the book. I've always been the reactor. And so you guys put me as the person reading the book, and that was super fun.
My lord, keep your peace. I have seen the queen. Jocasta is coming from her chambers. It is time. Oh, it is time. For she alone can resolve this quarrel. She can fix it. No.
That just solidified that as probably my favorite. My favorite to watch, though, is Noir.
My favorite game is Noir with John Clemmons.
I like Noir. Noir's probably my favorite.
Your Noir with John is incredible.
It's so much fun.
Yep. Exactly. You just get lost in it. Both you and the audience.
It's pretty much just me and John doing whatever we want, and it's so much fun. Cause generally we have a live musician come in and play some music for us. So there's that interplay, but there's also just the interplay between me and John slowly unfolding this bizarre tale before us, and both having a great time with it.
I raised the 6-sided dice, my hand trembling. 6. Uno. Dos. No. Cuatro. Cinco. 6. It's my thing to do. Way out of my weight class. Donde está los car? But you ain't seen the half of crazy. Oh my god. That was the Nerf X5 52000. I wanted that gun so bad. There you have it. It's got a clip with 25 bullets in it. I know I can't escape that. You got me. I can see the fear in his eyes. Dude, it was justified, because this is one of those Nerf guns that
when you shoot it, well, what you do is you pull it back and then you can shoot again. That's what, you shoot it, and then you pull it back and you shoot again. That's right, kiddo. You couldn't beat the Monopoly champion. What is the weirdest thing that's happened to you as a result of being on the team?
My nose has been compared to that of a sloth.
Oh, yes.
Do you guys get like people? Oh, you're on the improv team. Say something funny. Improv something.
Yes, all the time.
Why do they think that's funny?
And it's
not.
random people too.
I usually just end up saying like, well, actually, I'm improving this conversation right now.
You guys may have experienced this too, but people will come up to me and try to confuse me as a means of asserting dominance, I think, and it's very strange. Yeah, there are many people who come up who are be like, Caleb, say something funny. And be like, God, or something like that. You get weird interactions with people who are trying to be funny or are trying to put you on your back foot socially, just because it's really weird. But
It's not easy being on an improv team.
Sometimes you get bullied by random strangers.
Yeah.
Honestly,
for no reason.
we suffer so much.
Do you remember that one show where Caleb accidentally introduced me as Mrs. Catherine Pinkston?
Yes. I was like, congratulations.
I was leaving Jennings, and I don't remember who it was, and I didn't know them at the time. I don't think I even know them now. And some random guy was like, oh, hey, bye, Mrs. Pinkston. And I was just like, I don't know who you are.
That's my mom.
Mrs. Pinkston's my mother.
There's a weird moment. There's definitely a weird moment being on the team. I can say that. Of like, before one show, everyone had a weird energy and weren't feeling it. So we got in someone's car and rolled the windows down and just screamed and drove around campus while listening to Mr. Brightside. And me and Caleb were just like looking
That's
at each
amazing.
other. I was sitting in shotgun, little freshman. Caleb was behind me, and I just like turned around and looked at him. I was like, "What's happening?" That was weird.
That sounds like so much fun though.
Yeah, but then we were all like gassed because we had this big high,
Yeah.
and then we crashed.
There was the one show that we were not feeling it, and we like circled around to pray, but we like knocked over a glass that was backstage,
That
and
was-
it fell and
oh my
shattered,
gosh.
and we all just were like,
But it was a
and then we
really
went
good
on
show.
stage.
I can definitely answer. The worst show experience I've had was that one. I don't know. You weren't here for it. The show that I had just arrived from a debate tournament. Like I literally ran down the hall from a debate tournament into like 10 minutes before a show, and so we were still setting up. There was some sort of like everybody was just completely out of it.
I was coming back from a frisbee tournament.
Yeah.
Like Sully had like a full emotional breakdown, and Isabella was like having to help her.
Yeah. It was rough, and we. But it was, and then we were all standing backstage, and we knocked over a glass bottle, and it shattered like literally a minute before we walked out, and we all just kind of looked at each other and went, ah, ah, and then we walked on the stage, and it was a pretty awkward show, but we pushed through it.
I remember
I think
that.
it was like
great
a-
show.
It was a
People
really
didn't
good
know.
show, but it was
Yeah,
a
it was
really
back
bad
behind.
energy
Yes.
before it started.
That
That was a rough day.
Yeah, I was just laughing at that point because like
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
everything had gone wrong.
Because that was also
Everybody's
the
crying.
day
Yeah.
we tried to get the live stream and somebody's laptop died. Either you or Caleb's laptop
Yeah.
died, so I was like, I'll go get mine. And then I went to get mine and I brought it like all the way to the door and brought it back, and then my webcam wasn't working.
Yeah.
And so it was.
But I think
Yeah.
that was the show where I was like, okay, if we can have each other's backs and do a good show when we all kind of just feel like falling on the floor, then that's a good sign, you know?
Yeah.
And we haven't really had one like that since.
To be on Blank Slate Improv, you need three things. You need drive, you need passion, and you need a desire to be excellent at all costs, at the cost of really anyone else. So it's a very cutthroat industry, really. You need to do a lot of exercise before, during, and after each practice. We do push-ups regularly. But really, to be honest,
Practically speaking, what it looks like to be a team member is you show up to practice twice a week. We have about 3 hours of practice every week. And then you show up to shows and you perform the shows. To get on the team, we have an audition process where we have 2 rounds of auditions. You come to the first audition, and we like you. You come to the second audition, which is called callbacks, and we do more just games specifically with you to kind of get to know you better. And based off of that, we'll either put you on the team or not put you on the team. So, why did you audition, Nate?
I auditioned because of you, Caleb Atkins.
Oh,
that's actually true. Because I knew you from Calc 2 and Calc 3, and then I was walking around. I don't remember if I was in the Bold or in the Honors Lounge. I think I might have been upstairs in the Bold, and you were like walking around, like putting up posters for auditions. It might have been in the Honors Lounge, but we were walking around someday, literally putting up posters for auditions. You were just like, "Hey, you should come try out." And
That's the iconic Caleb Atkins.
Exactly.
That's exactly what he sounds
Exactly
like.
that.
Yeah. And I did, and like I was at that point like I wasn't really interested in Blank Slate. I was just like, oh, I'll try out because it's fun and I know somebody on the team.
I auditioned because Sully told me that you guys needed somebody, and you were really scared, or she was really scared that nobody was going to audition in January, because usually auditions are held in the fall, but they did them in January because like 3 people had left, and so Sully was like, no, you need to go, just try it out, just do it, and I was like, and I really didn't think I was gonna make it. I thought that like I totally bombed the audition, and I never saw myself on the improv team, but then I was the only person that got picked up. I was also the only girl, so that was pretty cool, but.
Girl power.
When I was in high school, I did some plays, and it was a lot of fun. But I didn't want to do that in college because I thought I wouldn't have time.
Yeah.
When I went to Scholars of Excellence, I saw the improv show, and I thought, this is really awesome. I really want to do that. So I auditioned freshman year, and I didn't make it, which was fair. I thought I had I was extremely stressed, very low confidence that year. Next year, I think I did better, and they let me on the team. So
The biggest thing that we look for in tryouts, auditions, is joy and teamwork, really. We don't really care if you are the funniest person ever, if you're a jerk and you trample on the people around you and you want it to be about you. The most important thing is that you're a good listener and you like to build off of other people, and that you have just joy in doing improv, which is something that, especially Matt Randall, I saw in him. He's brilliant and he's funny, but the reason I really wanted him on the team is because you could just tell that he loved it, and he lit up every time someone had a good idea, and you just see it in his eyes that like this brought him joy, and so that's why I was like, I want Matt Randall on this team.
What do you get out of being on the team?
Well, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but once a month, a little envelope gets slipped under my door with $50,000 in pesos.
Nate doesn't know that we get this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to say something for Nate, but yeah, 50,000 pesos.
Yeah. For me, it's yen.
You're making more than me.
Well, it's fun. It's with friends. It's a way to be creative without commitment outside of practice because there's no lines to memorize. And it's relaxing.
Personally, it's helped me a lot with like confidence and stage presence, especially like in a show. Like it's super beneficial even in like a scripted show, because if somebody forgets their line and you have to get back on track, you have to improv like a little section of a scene. So I think that's definitely helped me if I continue to further my acting career.
I would also say it's helped me really appreciate different strengths and weaknesses, because I feel like right now everyone on our team is really good at some stuff, struggles in different areas, but like we
complement
fit
each
really
other.
well, yeah.
Sure.
And so it's helped me appreciate different people and get excited too. Like I'll see someone do something different than normal, or like go out on a limb. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've appreciated that.
I know acting is like fraught with like how it forms you and stuff spiritually, but I think improv is just a very good like spiritual formation thing in my life, at least, because it teaches you to listen to other people really well and like put your scene partner, make your scene partner better than yourself, and like get out of your head and be brave and make mistakes, which I think applies to every part of our lives. My favorite thing about the team this year is twofold. I think our team has a very diverse mix of talents and just dispositions, strengths and weaknesses, so we all complement each other really well. And also the culture of the team is just it's just joyful and friendly and fun. which is a blessing that everybody has a good attitude and is there to build everyone else up and have a good time. There's no competitive energy or like cynicism. Our identities aren't wrapped up in improv, so we can just have fun without a lot of like, this defines me. So yeah, that's been a big blessing.
Give him the sphere. Let's see what he has to say.
Emmeline, I'll hand you the sphere.
She's a good therapist. She's good, honey. We're gonna be okay.
So one thing that people are always wondering about is, how do you practice for improv? So tell us a little bit about what the practices look like.
So our practices look like pretty much just us getting together and doing improv games. People do ask us a lot, how do you practice for improv? And I get very sick of that question because it is something that you have to practice for.
Practicing improv is really like practicing any other sport or thing, event. So in a soccer game, for example, I play soccer, you make it all up when you're playing, but you're playing soccer, and everybody knows that.
You have to get comfortable with each other, you have to get comfortable doing these games, you have to know how these games work. There are specific, there is theory behind how you come up with scenes and how you build on scenes and whatnot.
Mr. Shakespeare, we're going to have to revoke your gym membership. You've been severely annoying the other patrons.
And that's what we do in improv practice, basically. We work on skills, skills like how to build a memorable character, how to start a scene, because we're starting from scratch, right? Where do you begin? Well, you begin with creating a shared reality that the audience can recognize and a relationship that's meaningful. You try to figure out what these characters want. And that takes practice, because you're not going to be good at it if you just walk up and, I don't know how to tell a story.
So tell me, what do you write? Do you write the poetry?
I write the greatest poetry of all time.
You do you?
I do, yes.
Oh, my soul.
Who are you?
I'm Virgil.
Oh, Virgil.
The second greatest poet to ever come out of Italy.
Well, if one was going to ascend from the Inferno to Purgatorium to eventually Paradiso, one would want the best poet.
Well, naturally you have him right here. It's me, Dante.
Oh, well.
Yeah, see, this guy did all that writing, ended up in Purgatorium. What a chump.
It's me. Mario.
Mario, no!
I was too prideful on the earth.
We got to further up.
Mario, no! It's me, Louise!
I was too prideful on the earth. Oh, where is Wario?
Oh, Wario did not make it Purgatorio.
We have conversations about bigger picture concerns. So how do we heighten, how do we, in the narrative of a whole scene, how do we make it go somewhere? How do we reach a climax? How do we fall off? And how do we end it? Which usually we end at the climax. But, so we'll practice games, we'll practice long form, we'll do different exercises that just work on individual skills that we have. Like we have a warm-up, it's one of my favorites, where you just stand in a circle and we're silent and one person steps into the middle of the circle and starts doing something physically, and then everyone else has to fill in the environment with what else would someone else do in this environment. So you're making a scene, you're making a world, and that's practicing being physical.
It's a skill, and it's not something that is easy to do with a bunch of people that you don't know really well. And part of what makes the improv shows really fun, and part of what makes being on the team really fun, is the interplay between people that you really know really well, and the ability to kind of be familiar with people, such to the point that you can expect a certain sense of humor out of them in response to what you're doing.
I think for me it's also just fun.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's not even like, I wouldn't even consider it like a time commitment. It's like one of my favorite parts of the week is just hang out with like one of my favorite groups of people on campus and just
absolutely
cutting up.
And it does just kind of feel like you get together and are playing. It doesn't even feel like rehearsals for a play.
Yeah,
You're just kind of getting together and playing games with your friends, which is so great.
And that's what's great is because it's really it's not rehearsals because you can't, and so
Right, yeah, exactly.
And so you don't feel afraid when you're going on stage
Yeah,
because you get
exactly.
to wrap your helplessness around you like a blanket because there's nothing you could have done to make it go better.
Hello, ma'am. We're so sorry to contact you in the midst of this tragedy. We understand that your husband has moved off to a monastery, and you know it. How now? Then no words, ma'am. You have no means of income. That's very tragic. Unfortunately, I'm from the IRS, ma'am. Do you know what we do here at the IRS?
I have no dog, I have no Tupperware, I have no husband.
Dear madam, the federal government just needs a bit of your money. We'll borrow it. We'll give it right back.
Open up! It's the police!
Helicopter, sir.
Hello there. Hey, I just wanted to take the dog.
I don't know. How do you speak her?
I think one of the hardest things to do is to know what to do when things aren't going well. Because it's not like in basketball where in basketball you just have to, if you're not doing so well, just play harder. Like you can always give effort or something like that. And maybe that does translate to improv, but it's just if you can't improv harder, I guess. If it's not if the ideas just aren't flowing and you're just out of sync, you don't really know what to do. I think there is an energy component, and I think when things are going bad, sometimes just being a big energetic boom, here I am. Just going for something big can be helpful. Yeah. But I think that's one of the most challenging things for me is figuring out what to do when things don't go right.
It's also you got to get into the role of, because sometimes you'll be really excited about an idea and you'll say it and it'll just completely bomb. And you just kind of got to learn to take that kind of thing on the jaw. Yeah.
With long form, I never know how to heighten stuff. I can always insert myself into something that's already going on, but thinking of a way to heighten a certain game, I always think, when something's happening, that it's, the funniest thing, and and then I never imagine how to heighten, and then somebody goes into heighten, I'm like, now this is the funniest thing. You can't take it anywhere else from there, and then somebody inevitably does.
I think one challenging thing, which is a good kind of challenge, a good life applicable challenge, is you have to learn to communicate your ideas effectively and quickly to other people. Especially for scene changes where you tap somebody out, you cut to the United Nations, and you grab a chair. You have to set up your idea as quickly as possible so the other person can play.
And getting them to understand that you are, Dick Cheney, without telling them that you're Dick Cheney is also a difficulty in its own.
Yeah.
Get on my garden!
Let's get Matt and Ben!
That's 500 births, dude. Good job, dude. I love my job. You're the best
Alright, if you had to survive out in the woods for a month with two of your teammates, whom would you choose? If I could clone Ben Scott, it would just be Ben Scott and Ben Scott.
That would probably be my answer.
My first instinct is to say you and Matt.
I think I'm gonna go caveman monkey logic and take Nate because he is large and strong, and then I would probably have you and John compete in some sort of trial of fitness to see who the second strongest person was.
Okay, yeah.
And then take the winner.
Yeah, I think in any kind of trial of fitness, John would beat me out.
Yeah. I think my idealized version of Caleb would be really good at survival.
Idealized?
I don't know if
Actually,
the actual
the peak
Caleb would be. It seems
Final
like
evolution.
you see him in the rain coming back. He's got a dead rabbit in his hand, and his beard takes off his hood.
I mean, if he was acting, he would do great as a character in a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got the look.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
I think I'd definitely take Ben just because he his knowledge would know things, but the question is, would he know practical things?
Yes.
Yeah, but you don't need to know who is the major sport in general in the Peloponnesian War when you're out in the desert island, right?
I was actually gonna say you, because you seem like you know how to build a fire. Do you know how to build a fire?
I can get my way around it, yeah.
Okay.
He's a boxer. What if you didn't have a
I don't know
boxing
why,
match?
but that was just like my first
I'd
inclination.
I'd find 2 rocks.
Yeah.
And something that looked like flint.
Instead of 33 rocks.
I mean, if you don't know how to build a fire, I'm changing my answer.
Change it.
Kat would be interesting because like she'd have enough like random life experience that she would like know how to survive anything.
That's right. Good heavens, man! I would not want to be in the ring with her, Joe.
That's right.
First
I
I
think our
fight and then
team
run.
is great at telling stories and interesting stories, more importantly than funny stories. We have interesting characters who have interesting desires and conflicts and foibles, which is great fun. I think we're good at building worlds and dominating them.
I think we're best at long form, but I think that has been a regular. I don't think I've ever seen. I don't think I would ever want to see a team that wasn't best at long form and that was best at games, but wasn't at the expense of being good at long form. But yeah, I think that we're best at long form because long form is the thing that we practice the most, and it's improv in its purest, right? And that we go into a thing with no real idea of what it's going to happen, what are the rules of the world that we're going to build, what are the characters that are going to happen, and we just come up with something on the spot.
And finally, tell me who will be assuming the co-captaincy next year?
I'm proud to announce that Nathaniel Barnard, colloquially known as Nate, will be our new co-captain, my new partner in crime. Caleb got locked up, so it's just me and Nate now. But yeah, he's going to be great. He is ready for it. He's already a leader on this team, and he knows what we're about. And he's ready to step up into the position, and I'm really excited for him to do it, for us to work together. So, but let me say that the captaincy is a role and responsibility, but it is not like the only thing that drives improv forward at all. Like, every member of the team is very important, and without each member we would not be, especially Isabella Gray, because there's a lot of behind the scenes work done that is not totally done by captain. So we're definitely a team. We're a ship, the captain and the first mate, 2 captains and 5 first mates. And the passengers are the audience. The destination is joy.
Well, gentlemen.
Yeah. Are we still in frame? Okay, cool. Ready? B L A N K S L A T E B L A N K S L A T E Blake Slate. Woo!
I shaved my eyebrows off. I shaved my eyebrows off. I shaved them off and now the cheerleaders like me, 'cause I shaved my eyebrows off.
I liked my friend for who he was. I really liked my friend for who he was. But then he shaved his eyebrows to impress all the popular kids. So I missed my best friend.
I shaved my eyebrows. I shaved my eyebrows off. I don't regret it 'cause the cheerleaders like me. I shaved my eyebrows off.
My name is Catherine Pinkston, and I am a communication studies major I don't remember what her minor is, but I am from Malta, and I can speak Maltese, and I am just now learning a German accent to do in my voice and diction class.
Good.
Did you
Put on a hat, John.
The most powerful moment you've ever had is Emmeline. That was awesome.
Oh, let's do another one. Yeah. Sorry, it's too much fun to have a camera.